So Shoulders of Giants is this amazing title that is coming out soon, and it's got the potential to be as good as one of the indie greats such as Risk of Rain 2. And when I saw the gameplay and some of the art, I instantly thought Risk of Rain meets Star Fox. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is a title from Moving Pieces Interactive. It got highlighted at the showcase. It's coming to the Epic Store. And this is a bit of a mouthful, but it's a roguelike action-adventure co-op game where you have up to 4 players and you have endless levels while getting more and more powerful. Or at least that's the way they describe it in the marketing. The actual core driving mechanics of the game is that you are essentially a frog on top of a big mech. And the idea is that you have the synergy between the frog who does all the range shooting, you've got a blaster, and then you have the mech which has a giant sword and can do melee abilities. And the idea and the gameplay kind of showcases that you mix between the two. So I guess if like enemies come too close, you chop them on down, and for the ones that are flying around, you shoot them with your gun. And as you progress through the levels, you get more perks and different upgrades. There's grappling hooks, you get more powerful, and you just keep going until you have like this insane build that kills off everything. So they're really pushing the multiplayer elements of this so much that they've actually put 2 modes in there. So there's best friend mode where one of you will control the frog and the other one will control the mech suit. And then the other one is called Army of 4, which is basically you get together with 4 players and then you all have a suit and you go off and chop things down together. The only thing I've got a little bit of skepticism about so far is that they've got this thing called Grow as You Grow, and they basically say there is going to be never-ending randomized levels. And one of the things I really liked about Risk of Rain is that there was a completionist element to it. So you could get to the end and, you know, unlock achievement and then you get a new suit if you do it in a specific way. And there's no mention of that so far. And while roguelike having different builds each time is nice, I'm just wondering what their kind of long-term unlock pattern is going to be. Because if you have a look at any of the big roguelikes and their success, it's always about, you know, each run will iteratively improve on the previous one. And you get access to new suits and new weapons and new bits and pieces that just make that play loop, even though you're doing the same thing, a little bit different. Now, I don't imagine that they're not going to put this in because they have said that loot matters and that you can mix and match and come up with your own movesets and own play style. But again, the question of why am I coming back for another run, I don't think has been answered yet. But I guess we'll see that when more footage and playthroughs come out. In terms of graphics and stylism, it looks like it has been built on the Unreal Engine. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's kind of got the character thematics of Star Fox, as I've previously mentioned. It's also got the same color palette shading as the flop MOBA known as Gigantic. I don't know if you've ever played it, but again, it's very simple, like a 3D cell shaded effect to it. It's a bit like those modern day animes that use a 3D engine versus like, you know, 2D drawing. The visual effects look very impressive. There's lots of, you know, glowy, shooty, vibey things all over the place is what you want with a big like space shooter. There looks to be a good range of enemies. I've seen some flying ones and some melee elements, which kind of fits into the whole mechanoid range stylism, you know, where you're shooting them and then you're slashing down if they get too close. And in terms of world building, there's lots of different worlds. There's green lush ones and dead zones and all sorts of weird and wonderful alien colors and alien plants in the background. And the last thing mentioning as well, and I think this is the keystone to any good trailer, is it has an absolutely rocking soundtrack to it as well. It's almost like a futuristic space synthwave version of Dawn of the Dead. But yeah, overall this has got my thumbs up. I'm really excited to see this one. So yeah, I've added it to my wish list, and when it comes out in 2022 I will do a bit of a playthrough and let you know what I think.